Hey, so my kid's bike, the back tire is super flat. Let's just go ahead and get in there. That's a very flat tire. This happens when you have a lot of kids, like my wife and I do. Try to make sure we get a nice angle on that. So we're going to do this in the garage. I'm going to replace the tire instead of patching it. The next time this happens, I'll patch it on this new tube, but I have patched this tube more than once. So first off, I just got to release the caliper brake, which I just squeeze the top, release it. You see how those are moving loosely now? Then you can just flip it over. Yes, my kids' bikes have kickstands. Why? Because we're not purists. We're not snobs. We're about getting from point A to point B. I already know that this bike is metric because the bike is a snob. Anyway, I might have opinions. This is 15 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, 15 millimeters. I'm going to loosen these nuts up. And that's already loose enough for me to work with. Loosen this one up. Get on the thing. Oh, this nut has been corroded and scraped. You got to be kidding me, right? Wow. Yep. I'll be right back. Hey, when it's kind of corroded and the correct size won't fit, adjustable wrenches for the win. Here we go. Pick it up and away we go. Yeah. So I have a lot of writing to do today still, so I'm going to be in a bit of a hurry, but I will do my best to narrate. So this is a gear bike. So I'm going to pull this out so I can pull this off out of its little seat. And I'm going to loosen this chain out of the way. And it's already done. Check that out, huh? So whenever you're going to take the tire and or the tube off a wheel, hey, take the valve cap off because it'll get stuck. You want to make sure the tube is flat. It does help that this is already flat. Don't start at the stem. You can start opposite the stem. Works great. And this is so loose, so old, it's already off. Okay, so let me show you. I'm also replacing the tire, which is no particular extra step. Look how worn that is. It's flat there. So the burrs and the thorns that plague cyclists in this area of the world, it's much easier for them to even do it. Okay, so we're done here, except for putting it back on already. So I have bought a new tube or tire. Now, like with everything, you get what you pay for. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Bontrager? Bontrager? I don't know. It's what I usually get. It's the most commonly available good DIY type of stuff. So that's what this tire is. One important note on this tire is that you're going to see, there we go. You're going to see this on most good tires. Direction. That's the direction that the wheel rolls, right? So it's going to go this way. Okay, so start there. That's ready to go. I have a tube. Also, Bontrager. I don't know. I want to call it Rager because rage. Anyway, so we're going to take that out, unroll it, take this cap off. I'm going to hold it with my specialty place. Watch, I can still talk. That's actually not as good as it should be. Okay, and I have my very straightforward classic pump. First thing you do is you put some shape on this tube. Okay? A little bit of air. A little bit of shape in the tube helps it just kind of get started. Oh my. Yeah, my pump is getting a little old and it shows. Got a leak right at that seam down there. That's okay. Okay, that's plenty of shape. Okay. So, next, and I kid you not, it is this simple. Put the tire stable and put the tube inside the tire. Just set it in there. Just set it right in there. Yep. It is that simple. Okay. It's in. Isn't that exciting? It's already in there. It's like that. Then, this time, you do start at the stem. Just to make sure you're going to be doing this somewhat, at least close to right. You put the stem through the hole that's in the wheel. See that? Okay. Pull that through. Pull it through here. And so once the stem is through, you can just kind of put all the stuff together real quick and easy like. Just kind of pop it back on. The new rubber is going to be a little tighter, so there will come a point at doing this, that I'm going to possibly need to use a tool, but not always. I've been doing this enough that I typically don't bother with a tool because it's unnecessary. The main thing is making sure that the tube stays tucked in so you don't pinch the tube between the tire and the rim, okay? It's trying to come out there. You see that? It's trying to come out. I just push it back in there, pop that tire inside of the rim. Just like that, huh? And that's already almost in. And Bob's your uncle. That's in, right? Look at that nice new tire on that nice, pretty good wheel. It's popped out. And so as you see, this new tire's got a little bit of distortion to it, right? So as I pump up, I'm going to need to make sure that that seats properly in there, right? That's a fun thing, okay? So I'm actually going to set this right back in here already, and I'll pump it while it's in, just because it's that's an easy way to hold it where it needs to be. So in this case, that goes back out of my way. That's the kickstand. And then you bring this up, and it doesn't matter which gear you put the bike on. It's okay. Just peel that out, and you're back in. Okay. And then make sure it's sitting loose so you can slide it back into its little slots here and here, right? Under the gear derailleur, or the chain derailleur for the gears. So watch. I'll zoom in here too. So that's in there. That's in there. Before I tighten those nuts, I am going to put more air in the tire so I can really carefully monitor that the air is going in right. To do that, I want to make sure there's plenty of resistance. So I'm going to push down up here while I push on the stem, make sure there's a nice connection between my pump and the stem valve. I'm going to pump. You may have noticed I'm using Schrader. Schrader is the classic, well, I think it's the classic American stem and valve for our bikes. It's what I grew up with. Okay? But Presta is that different one with kind of where the valve has a pokey, it's a very technical term, a thing that pokes out, a pokey bit. And that goes in inside of the valve and opens the valve up for air to go in. So as I pump, as you see, I am being super careful, checking, let me move that, all the way around to make sure it's not coming out, that the tire is seating correctly in the wheel, right? And I'm doing the same on the sides. It's looking good. A couple more pumps. You may hear a pop or two, so I'll be quiet for a minute. Sometimes you hear a very satisfying pop as things get into place. And I don't hear that, that's okay. And that is making me really happy. It's already in good shape all around. I'm a fan. Now I have to double check something, because I sometimes forget the correct direction that it's going, and I've got it right. Okay, we're all set. So now I'm going to hand tighten these nuts, right? Okay. Now that those are hand tight, let me show you something straight on for the camera, because I think you'll get it better that way. Yeah, so I want to have the wheel exactly straight with the frame of the bike. Okay, it needs to be exactly straight so that the wheel's not doing this as it drives, okay? So I'm going to line it up, and it is I can center it really easily in this. There's a fork here, right? I can center it right between that fork, and then get these tighter with my fingies. And then I will use my ratchet on this one. Switch my ratchet. Get that nice and tight there. And now double check the other side. Oh, it's holding nice. Let me see if this is repented of its evil ways. It is not. So I'm going to use my adjustable wrench. Sorry for the big click there, microphone. Microphone is on my, oh, this is my garage apron. I do a lot of work as you know, with my hands. Building things and cleaning things and digging things. And when I am wearing my usual day clothes that are not my grubbies, I'll wear my garage apron. Okay, now I'm tightening that up, checking that it's centered still. It looks really good. Very nice. I'm going to double check after I get a little more air in. I also like to go slow getting a new tube filling because it's fresh, brand new rubber, and I don't want to overstress it. I don't know if that's necessary to be that careful, but I just am. I'm a careful guy. So that is as full as I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to let that stretch and settle into being stretched out. And I'm going to spin it. You ready? Yeah, the only movement I'm seeing is because the tire itself is still a little malformed, just from the way it was stored at the bike store. So that's fine. Now I'm going to tighten this up all the way. And that is, all the way means as hard as you can tighten. Okay? You don't need to use any kind of torque wrench, just as hard as you can tighten. And that is enough for these nuts, okay? Please don't go tighter than that, because that will be stupid and bad for you and the experience of your bike repair. Okay, one more time. Really happy with that. That's looking nice, very tasty. The gear's back in place. Let me kick this down, watch. And now the gear is back where it wants to be. Very nice. And the last thing I got to do before I put the last of the air in is I flip it back over. Now, if you're really fancy, you can get a bike repair stand, like some shops have, right? You could get a bike repair stand, and that means you just lift it up and you prop it, and it's much easier to work with sometimes. But even the bike repair stand, I've used a bike repair stand, I prefer this approach for changing out tires. It just feels like gravity's working better for me when I'm like this, or when I do it like this. So all I got to do next is put the brake back together, because you know what will happen is I'll tell my son, hey, your bike's fixed. And yes, he knows how to do this. I just needed to do this for the video. Your bike's fixed. You're good to go. He'll forget to check everything, because nobody's perfect. And he will get going and the brake won't be on and he will have a problem. The brake is done. Ready? Brake's looking okay. A little squishy, but should loosen up okay. And we're basically done. I'm just going to put some air in there. One important thing to check, I'll just show you here, is that the stem should be straight, kind of right angled from the rim, which this actually looks really good. So we're all set. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bikes are great. They give you almost the same level of independence as a car plus exercise. The only reason they're not the same level of independence as a car is because cars are faster and don't take hardly any effort. And they can go kind of farther. So the independence circle with a car is substantially bigger. But bikes provide a level of independence which is great. You're independent of traffic even on bikes. And you're going slower in the world. So you're seeing more of the world. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you get on a bike. And if you need help putting your bike together or fixing up your bike, let me know. I'll give you some more tips. See you next time.